Really and truly, there is no exact definition of a serial killer in the dictionary. But this lady right here is a real-life police officer serial killer. Like I said, there's no specific definition, but we're gonna talk about this lady. From police officer to serial killer, she killed 6 family members for the money thing. So, just sit back with me and we are going to explore this lady. Rosemary Ndlovu. Rosemary Ndlovu is from Johannesburg, South Africa. Look at the video in front of you. This is a mega city with lots of rich people and lots of poor people. Them have a 37% unemployment rate, as well as them have mega rich billionaire living in that part of South Africa, which is called Johannesburg. You know, Johannesburg, you have a lot of shanty towns as well as upscale stuff. We're gonna talk about this lady because she is from Johannesburg in a place called Gansi. This is Rosemary Ndlovu. She's a police officer. She was born in 1975. There's some discrepancy about when she was born, but she was born in 1975. She had a man physique, but she ended up finding a job as a police officer and started working for the Johannesburg police. And that's when all the crime started. Let's go. In 2012, she met this young man, Morris. He worked for the US Embassy and she was a police officer. In 2014, she and this dude, this embassy worker, ended up living together. Now, she flex different. She's selfish. Every money she make, she spend it on gambling. And this man, him have 13 brothers and sisters, and him use fee money to take care of him family, while she use fair money for gamble and do other things. Let's go. Now, because of her job and how poor our family is, she tell them say them need to sign up for life insurance and death insurance, and she helped them sign up. Now, her cousin, Umu, was a witness. She helped her cousin to sign up for life insurance also. Let's move while I tell this story. When she went and signed up for the life insurance for her cousin, it was kind of weird because she listed she was the cousin wife, and that's where all the killing started. Let's get into that. After the insurance sign up in 2012, her cousin disappeared without a trace. This man was a family man, stayed at home, loved his mother and loved his family, and then he disappeared. The sad thing about it, she was the one who was looking for him and headed the search for her cousin. Long story short, she got the insurance money and the burial money, and she didn't give them no more than 200 rand for the funeral. Now, June 2013, 1 year later, her sister Audrey get called from Rosemary Ndlovu, and she offer Audrey to have dinner and come and stay by her. Now, she invite her sister in her one room where she live, Rosie. Audrey invite Rosie in the one room in Tambiza that are in Johannesburg. Them sit down, them eat, and them drink, and them feel merry for the night there. So Rosemary left Audrey's house and go home. And the next day, Rosemary says she can't find Audrey. She, as a police, Rosemary, put out a APB for a bowler. And next thing you know, them find Audrey poisoned and strangled to death. And guess what? Rosemary, her sister, was the beneficiary of the life insurance. Let's go. The insurance payout from our sister was 700,000 rand, which is about 45. Maybe now it's a little bit more, 50,000 rand. And that's what she did. She would come to work and buy all our co-worker them food, and more times she looked miserable. But she was a vivid casino player. She play and gamble and gamble and gamble and more gambling, and that's where her money went. In 2014, she got pregnant. She and her boyfriend Maurice, and them have a young baby girl by the name of Makanani. Now, Maurice loved his family, and he loved this baby, and he loved his wife, but there's a lot of stupid and dangerous and wicked things this lady was doing. Like we're saying, how do you detect a serial killer? There is no possible way. A weird thing happened in 2015 when Maurice and this lady, Rosemary, have an argument. Him storm out of the house while she stay home with the baby. And he didn't come home that night. And guess what? You guys know what happened. Maurice was found dead close to the area where they live. He had over 80 stab wounds on his body, and she collected over 700,000 rand and $100,000 from the U.S. Embassy because he worked for the U.S. Embassy. Obviously, he was a bright guy with a good job. So far, it's 3 deaths, and everybody who died, she was the beneficiary. I just wanted to say one more thing. They paid her 400,000 rand, not 700,000, the insurance company, and got 100 grand from the U.S. Embassy. And this is the 3rd death in her family, and like everything else, she was the beneficiary. So let's go. In June 2016, her cousin came to live with her, SCHANNEL. And some weird things happened to SCHANNEL. SCHANNEL got hit by a car. It was a minor thing, and she went to the hospital. SCHANNEL leave the hospital with Rosemary. And that night, because she was in Rosemary care, that night she had violent pains in her stomach and all sort of stuff. So the next day, Rosemary bring her to the hospital and she died. She died from severe internal injury. Her kidney, her liver, and everything was shattered. Now, the doctors said when they released her the day before, she didn't have those kind of injury, or else they wouldn't leave her. She had minor injury. Rosemary said she didn't know what happened to her or how that happened. And this is the 4th person. Like I said, she was the beneficiary for her cousin SCHANNEL life insurance, and she died and collected the money. She collected 100,000 rand, which is about $7,000 off her cousin. She said that she want to get closer to her family. In June 2017, Moyaba, which is her niece, brother, who died, said he wanted to visit her. And he also wanted to go to Pretoria. Pretoria is a city in a Johannesburg or a town. She gave him a ride, Rosemary gave him a ride. And then the next day, police found his body. Gave her a phone call, she identified the body. And yeah, we can believe it one more time. That's another family member. That's another family member dead. And guess what? For some reason, she is the beneficiary for the life insurance. You believe that? Wow. Let's move on. I just wanted to note that on his insurance beneficiary, she was listed as Moyaba, mother. Her phone GPS showed that she was with him for most of the day, but she said she still don't know what happened to him. Now, 6 people already died, and she was getting more and more desperate. And this is where she's gonna get her demise. Let's go. Through her job, she meet a hitman named Jabalu Kinene, cause she arrested him before for a gun. So she planned with the hitman to kill her sister and 5 kids. And what the hitman do? He went to the police and set her up. You hear what I'm saying? He went to the police and set her up, because now she already killed 6 members of her family, and she collected over 1.5 million rand. And she also killed her baby father in the 6. The guy she lived with, Morris, and had a daughter with. So at this time now, she's probably thinking, yo, I am unstoppable. So she recruited the hitman, and that's how she got stopped. He went to the police and they set her up. Like me say, him go to the police and him tell them everything. Him put himself at risk, and him decide say he might work with the police and get that woman here off of the road, because him know all of the thing them what she do. And it was very disturbing. Her sister had 5 kids, you know. The youngest one was 6 months. And look what she want to do to her sister. Now, them set up the car with the hitman, and the hitman bring another man with him, which is a police, a second hitman, and them have camera in it. It was a success.
Ningangena nibahame ngingabashisa mara ukugwaza nokudubula ayikho emakhaya. Yabona ukushisa number 1, nokuhamba number 1. Zona lezo yithu bengicanga ukuthi sihambe manje ne, masihamba manje niyohlangana naye, ngimbize sihlangane somewhere. Mina mhlambe ngifake imoto laphana, yabona, ngimnikezele la philisi Njabulwa, yabona, ngimtshele ngithi la maphilisi asiza ntambama mawulala uwaphuza womkhuhlane. Ngithi manje kuzingena isizini yomkhuhlane, ngithi niwaphuze mani lala ngoba ayalalisana. Then nina nizokhona ukungena ke, akunamabhadla laphana. Ngibuyela la esibhedlela. Ngibuyela la esibhedlela, nayo baba endlini uyazi ukuthi ngila esibhedlela. So la esibhedlela ngicelile banginikeze i-pass out, bathe ngibuye ngo-4. So lana noma ngafika ngo-5, 6, 7 akunandaba, as long ngidlulile. So ngoba ngithi indawo eshisa ifuna ngishise kusebusuku, uyayibona. ngiclean mina ngingaqala ngazo ngase bangitshela indaba mina kusasa ngiyavuka ngiyagijima ngiyekhaya ngicela amalungiselelo ngiyaclima ngenza zonke.
Needless to say, she was arrested after she showed them her sister house. She had a court case and it was a lengthy one, very lengthy one. She was arrested and charged with 6 murders. Her sister, her 2 nephews, her niece, her boyfriend, and her cousin. They took a long time to build the case against her. So 3 years later, October 2021, the trial started. And when she realized that they had a case against her, because you had the 2 hitman them, you had family members who was coming up. The family members realized everybody that died, she was the last person to be with them, and she was also listed as their beneficiary. So she started to get upset in court. If you notice, she's showing her rear and doing a whole bunch of different things. But they finally convicted her, and she got 6 life sentences plus 70 years. Yeah, and she deserved every bit of it. She was a police officer who's supposed to uphold the law. And what she did, she killed her family members, 6 of them, serial killer, for money. Now, my name is Countryman. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, leave a comment. I'm out. Let me know if you like this one.